Alright, what's up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, we have to go over ST21. That's right guys, a new set is going to be released. Actually, I'm recording this on December 21st and releasing it. And this product, ST21, will be released today, or I guess it already has been released, over in the East. Okay? So it comes out December 21st in the East. And we will not be getting it in the West until March. So just giving you guys a heads up, something to plan for. But we're going to be checking out all these new cards because we may just start seeing them. We may just start seeing them pop up over in the East. We'll have to see. But some really cool cards to go over today. But I do have to give a spoiler warning, a courtesy spoiler warning, or whatever you'd call that. But that's what we're going to be doing today, is diving into ST21, breaking down the leader and all the new cards that are coming. And for all the red, yellow Sabo enthusiasts out there, I think we might be getting some new toys to play with when this comes out, and when OP10 comes out, of course. But then after that, we do have one game we're going to go over on the sim of me playing red, yellow Sabo, a Goa Kingdom version versus green, blue Zonji. That'll just be a little bit of fun at the end. Okay, so I'll have everything time-stamped in the general description, guys, as usual. I'll have all relevant deck lists and links down in the comment section below. And yeah, let's do this, guys. Let's get into it. Okay. So, first things first here, guys, we got the leader, okay? It is Monkey D. Luffy. This is ST21. Again, guys, ST21. It is a 5-life, 5,000 power red leader with the 4 Emperors and Straw Hat Crew type. The effect is Dawn ×1, activate main, once per turn. Give up to 2 rested Dawn cards to one of your characters. Okay, so this is very similar to the dragon effect, the effect that dragon has, but dragon can attach, or can give 2 Dawn cards that are attached to your leader or a character to a character. So you can't go from like character to leader, but you can give it from a leader to a character or a character to another character with dragon's leader effect. This one is a little bit more. This is using rested Dawn. So I guess this has. How do I say this? This kind of gives it. They both get, let me say it like this. This and Dragon are both very similar, but they are also still very different, if that makes any sense. Because Dragon is making you commit 2 Dawn to your characters for the turn. So in other words, even if you're on like a 10 Dawn turn, you can't slam down a 10 cost character and then use Dragon's effect unless you have a way to attach Dawn already on the board. Whereas with Luffy, as long as you attach 1 Dawn to your leader, you can still use all the rest of your 9 Dawn and then attach 2 rested Dawn to one of your characters. So it is a very similar effect. I think it's very similar in value, but this is slightly better, I think, you know, as far as what the effect does. Yes, you do have to attach 1 Dawn to your leader, but then you're getting to use your full Dawn for the turn after that and go from there. And I'm sure in a leader like this, it makes more sense. It makes a lot more sense to run the 1-cost cards like the 1-cost starter deck Nami that can attach a rested Dawn to your leader. So that way you'll get your full Dawn for the turn, attach a Dawn to this leader, and then get the 2 extra Dawn, right? So I do think that is actually very nice because it can potentially work as like a 13 Dawn turn or something like that, right? Not literally, but as far as like, you know, using out all 10 Dawn, attaching Dawn, and then moving Dawn around, you know, you can do some really cool stuff with that. I do think this is a very nice generic leader effect for red. It's a 5,000 power 5-life red leader, and yeah, I do think that this. If I were to rate this, I don't know if I'll rate every card today, but I do like to at least give a rating so you guys kind of know where I stand on the card, and then you guys can tell me how y'all stand on it. Tell me what y'all think about it. I would give this leader, just a generic like 6.5 out of 10, where I think it's a little bit better than your average leader effect is, believe it or not, because that. Again, you're going to attach 1 Dawn and basically ramp 2 Dawn. Not ramp, let me rephrase that. You're not going to ramp Dawn, but you're going to get to have plus 2,000 power. So you're essentially attaching 1 Dawn to your leader, and you're getting 3,000 powers worth from it. So, you know, it's really not too bad. I'd give it like a 6.5 out of 10, maybe closer to a 7, but I think it's a solid in a vacuum. Again, we're not considering any cards added with it. Just in a vacuum, I think the effect is pretty solid. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's go and check out what else is in this list. Wow. Okay, check out this alt art, guys. Really cool. I do like when they do this. They did this for the 3 brothers, the 3 brothers Bond ST13 Ultra Deck or whatever it's called, or Ultimate or Ultra Deck or whatever, where they had the normal, you know, they had the normal leader art, and then for the alt art, it was all white out, black out, like white and black like this with like color, complementary colors here and there. accents and stuff, and it looks really good. I'm a big fan of this. Looks awesome. Okay, so first card here we got for the characters is Usopp. He is a 2-cost, 3,000 power, 2,000 counter character, Straw Hat Crew type. He has the effect of Dawn ×2. Go figure, right? Go figure with the leader effect. Okay, Dawn ×2, opponent's turn. This character gains plus 2,000 power. And this is on the opponent's turn. So this kind of works as like it's a 2k counter, period. Straw Hat Crew searchable. But it's a 2-cost 3k. And then when you go to attach 2 Dawn to it, you're going to swing for 5. And then also in your opponent's turn, you're going to have plus 2,000 power in it. So he's a 5k on your opponent's turn as well. So this is actually a really nice utility 2k counter. Big fan of this. And I would expect that to be the theme with what we're about to look at. If I had to guess what we're going to see going forward is that every card we look at is probably going to have, other than like maybe vanilla cards, obviously, most effects are probably going to be dealing with attaching 1 Dawn to a character or leader to turn on this effect, or a character effect that has to have 2 Dawn attached to the character to get the effect. I would imagine that's going to be a very common theme and in this starter deck. Now check this out. We do have alt arts. Is this going to be for everything? Okay, it looks like this is just like Starter Deck 13, ST13, where every card will have an alt art inside, except maybe the events. I think last time the events did not have alt arts, but the leaders and the characters all had alt arts in the deck, and there were like special boosters you could open in each one of them, and you'd have one random alt art from that starter deck in there. Very cool stuff. I think that's how it goes. We'll have to see. Okay, but anyway, let's get back to it. So this character, let me say this right now, it's a 2k counter, so I automatically give it a 7 out of 10, but I'm going to give this one like a 7.5 out of 10 because it does give you the ability to go aggressive early on. Not super aggressive because, you know, you're paying 2 Dawn for a 3,000 power body, but when you attach 2 Dawn, he's basically a 2-cost 5k. And with your leader effect, that becomes very easy. But I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10, especially for the 2k counter. That's the main idea there. All right. Next up, we have Sanji. Another 2k counter right away, guys. So this is a 2-cost, 3,000 power 2k counter. Straw Hat Crew. On play, set up to one of your Straw Hat type characters with 6,000 power or more. Oh, select. I thought it said set up to. Okay, select up to one of your Straw Hat Crew type characters with 6,000 power or more. If the selected character attacks during this turn, your opponent cannot activate blocker. Okay, so this is Diable Jambe. If I'm not mistaken, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but this is basically Diable Jambe on a 2k counter body. The body itself is probably not super relevant for what we're trying to do, because I would imagine this is just a finisher card. So instead of having to run Diable Jambe, which is a 1-cost event with no other utility other than closing out a game, this is a 2-cost character with a 2k counter. It has 3,000 power for the body, but who cares, right? The main thing is the on-play effect. Up to one of your Straw Hat Crew type characters, not leaders. They did make sure that it's not exactly like Diable Jambe, right? But one of your Straw Hat Crew type characters with 6,000 power or more. Well, you have to select one with 6,000 power or more, and then if the selected character attacks this turn, your opponent cannot activate blocker. So I think it's a little bit weird with wording, but I think they basically cannot block the character. I think that's how it's going to go. So really powerful effect here. And hey, I think this effect right here is just insanely strong in general. Any kind of like maybe even a red-green deck. Hang on, if the selected character attacks during this turn, your opponent cannot activate blocker. So you could probably put this on a, like, let's just say you're running like red-green Trafalgar Law, for example. And you play this down on like a 7,000 power character or 6,000 power character, it doesn't matter. And then you can attack with them, potentially sheet out the Trafalgar, the green cost, or the green 5-cost Trafalgar Law that stands a character, and then you could swing again on blockable. That seems like it's at least some potential there. Very cool card, big fan of this. This is and let's go to the alt art for it. I will give this like an 8.5 out of 10. This is on the cusp of being a 9 out of 10, but it's really still only going to be good as a 2k counter, but then at helping you close out games. Awesome, awesome utility 2k counter. Okay. Next up, we have Jewelry Bonney. This is not a Straw Hat Crew card, it looks like. This is a 1-cost, 3,000 power character. No counter, so it's not a vanilla. It does have an effect. Egghead Bonney Pirates type. The effect is Dawn ×2. Who could have guessed? On KO, draw 1 card. Interesting. Okay, so this is actually a really nice play for turn 1, right? You just go, okay, turn 1, slam down a 1-cost 3k. Turn 2, if I'm trying to be aggressive, okay. Wait, what was that? Didn't we just go over a Usopp? Yeah, this card. Okay, interesting. Maybe so play this out for 2, right? Play out Usopp for 2, and then use your leader effect to attach the final Dawn to your leader. Again, this is on turn 2, right? So turn 1, play Bonney. Turn 2, play Usopp. Put the last Dawn attached to your leader. Swing 6, and then attach the rested. Or actually, I guess you should swing with this character first, right? So use your leader effect to attach the 2 rested Dawn to this character. Swing 5, and then 6 with your leader. And then when they go to KO this next turn, thank you very much. I think I'll draw a card. Appreciate it. Really cool stuff here. This is a nice 1-drop for red, guys. I have to say, this is good for red in general. Okay, because it is nothing's locked. It doesn't say if your leader Straw Hat or if this or if that. Just Dawn times 2 to swing for 5, and then if it gets KO'd, you're going to draw a card. And it's a 1-cost 3K like a vanilla, but it is missing a counter. The one thing it's missing is a counter. But hey, you know, this I'm going to be keeping my mind open for all the red-yellow Sabo interactions because, hey, this card might be just perfect in red-yellow Sabo going forward. We'll have to see because I can just slam this card down early on to just be aggressive, right? Just to swing for 5 and swing for 6 with my leader. And then if they KO, I get to draw a card. But, oh, man, what happens if I draw it later in the game? Well, I might be running the 3-cost Joey Bonney as well. We'll have to see what happens. So many new cards coming out. There's so many new possibilities. Awesome. There's the alt art, very good. Oh yeah, if I were to rate this card, I would rate this. So it has the vanilla body, so it's at least a 5 out of 10, right? Like that's the thing. But then it also has a very potentially powerful on KO effect to replace itself. I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. It's not insane. It's only really good on turn 1, but it's better than. I think it's very good on turn 1. Let me say that. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Really good. Okay, Jinbei. I guess we will at least look at the alt art a little bit longer, guys. This does look really nice. Very good stuff. I love when they do the alt arts in the starter decks with the little random booster packs in there. Very good stuff. Okay, so Jinbei. This is a 2-cost, 4,000 power, 1K counter, Fishman, Straw Hat Crew type, vanilla card. 5 out of 10. Okay, and it has an alt art even for the vanillas. Really good stuff here, guys. Stussy. This is a 3-cost, 5,000 power, 1K counter, vanilla card. This is an egghead type. 5 out of 10. Very nice alt art too. I mean, I know they're like the exact same, but it does look really clean when you take out the border like that. They just look really nice like that. Really good stuff. Okay, Sentomaru. I don't know if I expected him to be in here. I guess this might have to do with something with ST21, like with the theme of it. But we got a 2-cost, 2,000 power, 1K counter blocker. Just egghead navy type. Just a red navy blocker. And there is a new red-green leader coming out in OP10 in Smoker. Right, so this could be a potential blocker in that deck. So really good stuff there. That was very well done by, I think, by Bandai and the developers there to include this in a completely random way in a starter deck. Very good stuff here, though. I think this is a very generic body for those who are not, for those who might be new to the One Piece TCG, or for those who are not aware. If you haven't picked up on the pattern, that is a very common stat line in the One Piece TCG of being a 2-cost, 2,000 power, 1K counter blocker. I give that like a 6.5 out of 10. It's just very basic, nothing too crazy. It's to be expected. Awesome. The alt art looks really cool when they zoom in at the top right on that blast at his wrist. Looks really good. Okay, Tony Chopper. This is just a vanilla 4-cost, 6K, 1K counter, animal Straw Hat Crew type character. 5 out of 10. Very nice. There's the alt art. Very good. Okay, let's just go straight to the alt arts for each one of these, right? Let's just sit on the alt art. Okay, so we got a 3... Okay, interesting stat line. Very cool. It's about time that I think Bandai should experiment with this stat line much more. Like, much more frequently. Not specifically a 3-cost 1K, but let's, like, really severely understat a character and then just give them an extremely powerful effect. I think that's something they need to mess around with much more. I think they've done it in the past. I'm not saying they've never done it. Like, that was kind of the idea with Nefeltari Vivi, right? I think that was like a 7-cost 4K or something like that. Same thing with Rebecca. I think Rebecca was also a 7-cost 4K. Something along those lines, guys. Y'all bear with me. Don't butcher me in the comment section. You guys know what I'm trying to say. But here we go. So let's see what this does. I don't even know what it does yet. This is a 3-cost, 1,000 power, 1K counter, Straw Hat Crew type character, Nami. And the effect is activate main once per turn. Give up to 2 rested Dawn cards to one of your Straw Hat Crew type leader or character cards. Man, this is what Black Yellow Lin Lin needs. I know this is red, I know, and I know this isn't even for Big Mom Pirates, but this is the card that it needs. Something to attach to Dawn to my leader. You know what I mean? I just feel like that'd be so good if they'd give that to Black Yellow Lin Lin. Hopefully they do at some point in the future, but a card like this, an effect like this, I think would just be so incredible in a deck like Black Yellow Lin Lin. But anyway, back to what we're doing here. Activate main once per turn, give up to 2 rested Dawn cards to one of your Straw Hat Crew type leader or characters. So it is bound to Straw Hat. That was probably very wisely done because this card probably could have been abused pretty insanely across. You guys already know what I'm about to say. This would obviously be like one of my new 3-drops as a red-yellow Sabo player. I would probably just be running a Straw Hat Crew deck at that point, where the only thing it couldn't put on is my leader, right? Like, so that way it's just, I can just attach 2 to any of my characters on the board and then just go crazy with it. Just put a bunch of 5K characters in there, push them all to 7, or I guess 5,000 and 6,000 power characters, attach 2 Dawn to them for free with this effect, and then I'm just swinging for 7s and 8s and putting it into life. But still, the effect, I mean, how do I say this? You still can use this in any deck, right? So activate main once per turn, give up to 2 rested Dawn cards to one of your Straw Hat Crew type leader or character cards. I can technically still run something like this in Red Yellow Sabo, but then I'd have to really focus it around the Straw Hat Crew type. But I'm very sad that I cannot use, if that effect could have been used on anything, this character would have been insane utility. It already is very insane utility for anything Straw Hat Crew, but really good stuff here. Great utility card. I understand people might be upset with like, oh, but it's just a 1,000 power body for 3 Dawn. I get that. I do understand that. But guys, notice what it's doing. It's allowing you to get extra value every turn, even though the turn you play it, you probably won't get too much value unless you play it later in the game where it can immediately attach to. But I think this is a great card here. Very solid. I'd give this a 7.5 out of 10. This is going to allow red Straw Hat Crew decks to do a lot. It's going to allow them to do quite a bit. And it can even give it to itself, by the way. It can activate main once per turn, give up to 2 rested Dawn cards to one of your Straw Hat Crew type leader or character cards. It doesn't say other than Nami, right? Or it doesn't say give up to 2 rested Dawn cards to one of your other Straw Hat whatever. No, it can even give it to itself. So this is technically more like a 3-cost 3K if you need it. And then it can also, go from there. If you had to use the activate main, I'm saying, of course. Okay, so good stuff. I'm still going to give this a 7.5 out of 10. I think it's a great utility searchable card. But I guess at the same time, it's probably not too searchable within red only decks because Nami is the searcher in that deck. So we'll have to see what happens in the future. Okay, so Nico Robin. We got a 3-cost 4K 1K counter. This is a 3-cost 4,000 power 1K counter. Dawn times 2 when attacking. KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 4,000 power or less. This is Straw Hat Crew, of course. Hasn't this already been out? I have to check, guys. Y'all bear with me. I'm looking over on the right side on my my second monitor. I have to look this up immediately. I think this card's already been out, hasn't it? We type in Nico, red cards, 3-cost 4K. Yeah. So this came out. Oh, no, actually, it's a little different. Okay, hang on, guys. So this one is actually a tad bit different. The one that came out in the past was a 3-cost 4K with a 1K counter, just like this. But it was a Dawn times 1 where you can KO a 3,000 power or less character. This one is a Dawn times 2 to KO a 4,000 power or less character. Very nice. Okay, so that is like a slight improvement for sure. Very good stuff. I didn't think the original version was insane or anything, but at the same time, I do think this is still very good. Sanji players, anyone who's trying to make PRB01 red Sanji work. Oh, that's another thing I should have mentioned. All of these cards we're looking at today will probably be able to work out just fine in PRB01 Sanji as well. And with that in mind, this character is probably just a flat upgrade on the other Nico Robin. But at the same time, it does require one more Dawn, so it's a little more inconvenient. You guys tell me what y'all think on this one in the comments section below. But I do think this is just a little bit better in Sanji. Or who knows, maybe you run double Nico Robin in that deck. Maybe you run 2 of the 3-cost 4K that pops a 3, and 4, excuse me, I meant to say maybe you run 4 of the 3-cost 4K that pops a 3K, and maybe you run 4 of the 3-cost 4K that pops a 4K. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. But really good card. I'm just going to give this like a 6.5 or a 7 out of 10. I don't think it's insane by itself, but hey, with enough cost reduction, with something like a Koala, if you're in a Revo Army deck, or something like a Fire Fist, you're going to be able to pop some pretty big targets. So really not bad. Really not bad. Okay, next up, Franky. I forgot to put it on the altar. My bad, guys. Okay, so we got Franky here. This is a 3-cost, 4,000 power character with a 1k counter. It has Dawn ×2. Opponent's turn, all of your Straw Hat Crew type characters with 4,000 power or less gain plus 1,000 power. See, there was a Franky just like this as well. It looks like they're kind of just compensating for power creep over time. But let me see something real quick, guys, on my other monitor again. Yeah, so they had a 3-cost 4K, the exact same effect, guys. Hang on. Well, no. This one is a little bit different. The one I was thinking of it is a little bit different. But this was the other one was a 2-cost 4,000 power character with no counter, and then it was General Franky, so it said also treat this card as Franky. And then it had on opponent's turn, all of your characters with 3,000 base power or less gain plus 1,000 power. So this one is a slight upgrade on that. Like I said, it almost seems like they're trying to compensate for power creep with this set here and just recycling old cards and making them a little bit better that also go along with the effect of the leader, which I'm not opposed to, by the way. I'm not like saying that in a negative way, but it just seems like that's kind of the theme I'm picking up on here. This is very similar to an older Franky card that was printed in the past. So, but anyway, 3-cost 4K. With a 1k counter, Straw Hat Crew searchable, Dawn ×2, all of your Straw Hat Crew type characters with 4,000 base power or less gain plus 1,000 power. So that could be kind of interesting. Y'all bear with me, guys. I'm trying to make this work in my mind real quick. I believe there's a 4-cost 4k chopper. I believe there's a 4-cost 4k chopper that gets plus 2,000 power on your opponent's turn. So we'll check that in just a minute, guys. In fact, we might just check it now. I'm going to be honest. We're just going to check it right now, guys. Bear with me. OP10, red cards, search. I'm pretty sure there's a chopper that could go with. That could be pretty, and a lot of actually there's a lot of Straw Hat cards that could be coming out soon. That maybe this new Franky will be decent with cards like this that have 4,000 power or low that are Straw Hat Crew. But this was the card I was talking about. This is Tony Chopper. It's a 4-cost 4K 2K counter blocker, and he is a Straw Hat Crew Punk Hazard type blocker, like I said. And then on your opponent's turn, this character gains plus 2,000 power. So if you somehow were able to use the Franky that we were just talking about, remember, it's going off their base power. So this would get plus 3,000 power, if I'm not mistaken. This could be a very strong combo. Let's go ahead and look at that right now. Let's go back to where's it? ST21. Here we go. Whoops. Hang on, guys. Got to go back to it. Search. And where were we? We were all the way down here with Franky. We're actually on the back page now. Look at that, guys. We're moving pretty quickly. So here's the Franky we were just looking at. So if you can attach 2 Dawn to him on your opponent's turn, all of your Straw Hat Crew type characters with 4,000 base power or less gain plus 1,000 power. So it would give it to himself. So he'd be a 3-cost 5k blocking, 6k swinging with the 2 Dawn attached. And then that chopper card we were just looking at, again, that would be like a 4-cost 7k blocker. That's also a 2k counter. That seems very good. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, if I missed something, or if the translation's a little off, or I kind of misinterpreted it. You guys help me out, but that seems like a very powerful effect. I'm still only going to give this card about a 6 out of 10 because I don't think you want to play a bunch of 3-cost 4K bodies or less. Who knows? Maybe you do. We'll have to see how things go, right? It all comes down to how things shape up. But I feel like you wouldn't want to do that. But we'll have to see what happens. Either way, solid card. Nothing too crazy though. I'm just going to give this like a 6, maybe a 6.5 out of 10. Okay, because one more thing I'll say on it is okay, it's probably going to be the opponent's leader attacking into these characters that are sideways, these little characters. And if you're buffing a 4,000 power base body to a 5,000 base, that in and of itself is not going to be that crazy, right? Because it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to swing 5 into it still. So, who knows? I'm not saying it's worthless, but I'm saying I'm just going to give like a 6 or a 6.5 out of 10. Not too bad. All right, we got Brook here. This is a 3-cost, very, very low-cost character so far, guys. 3 costs, 4,000 power, 1k counter, Straw Hat Crew type character. The effect is when attacking, give up to 2 Rested Dawn cards to your leader or one of your characters. Very generic, solid effect. I'm going to give this like a 7 out of 10. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. We already see what's going on. You can attach these 2 to your leader, so that way your leader can swing for 7. And then on top of that, you're going to be able to use your leader after that and attach 2 Rested Dawn to one of your other characters. There's a lot of possibilities with a card like this. Very solid. Actually, I'm going to give it like a 6.5 out of 10 because it does have to attack, and that is kind of scary these days. Not every character just gets to attack these days, right? Okay, next up we have Vegapunk. This is just a 1 cost, 3,000 power, 1k counter, scientist, egghead, vanilla character. 5 out of 10. Okay, now we're over to the SRs. I was wondering when we were going to get to these. Is there a... Oh, nice. So the alt art for this is literally what we've been seeing, where they just take out the border and make it a full art. Or a borderless alt art, whatever you want to call it. Really good stuff here. This is a 5 cost. Like, this looks really good, this alt art. Sorry, guys. I kind of tried to go past myself there. I really like how it looks with the borderless. I can't stress that enough when it's actually made to fit just nice and, nicely like that. Now, anyway, now it's for the card. It's a 5. I have seen this one. Most of the other cards I had not seen. I might have seen 1 or 2 of them randomly, but this card I have seen. Very excited about this one. It is a 5 cost, 6,000 power character, 4 Emperors, Straw Hat Crew type. And then it has Rush. When attacking, give up to 1 Rested Dawn card to your leader or one of your characters. Oh, man. Just so nice. It's just so nice, guys, for what I'm trying to do. Like with the whole red, yellow Sabo thing. I'm sorry, I know I always mention that, guys, but I have to, guys. It's the main focus of this channel these days, right? That's like my main leader. It's what we talk about a lot. We dedicate one video to it every single week. So of course we're gonna bring something like this up whenever something pops up that's so perfectly geared for red, yellow Sabo. This is a 5 cost 6k rush card. So I mean, you can actually just slam this down on your turn 3 going first and just smash in for 6 and then attach it onto your leader and swing for 6 more. That's like a very basic play you could do with it, right? Or how's about this? Why don't you, let's say you go second. Going second is absolutely insane with a card like this, right? Where it's like, okay, 6 Dawn turn, slam this down, attach 1 Dawn to it, swing for 7, give up to 1 Rested Dawn card to your leader, one of your characters, give it to your leader, so you swing in for 7 with your character, or excuse me, with your leader, okay, no, I was right. Swing for 7 with this character, because he has Rush, and then attach it onto your leader with the effect, and then throw this character into your life with your leader's effect, and swing in for 6. You can, I guess you technically can swing for 6 first, and then play out this character to a swing and attach a Dawn to itself. Yeah, it says give up to 1 Rested Dawn card to your leader or one of your characters. Okay, well, I'll swing for 6 with my leader, so my board's safe, and then I'll slam this guy down, swing 6, attach a Dawn to him, swing for 7 with him, and then I'm going to life it after that. Just absolutely beautiful. Incredible synergy there. I cannot wait to get my hands on this card. I'm going to give this like a 7.5 out of 10. It might need to be higher than that. It's a 5 cost 6k rusher that has the ability. It's basically a 5 cost 7k rush card with no stipulation. So I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. And then instead of it being a 5 cost 7k, it's almost like you can sacrifice 1,000 power for the turn to give a Dawn somewhere else, to give 1,000 power somewhere else. So I think this card might even need to be closer to an 8 out of 10 or an 8.5 out of 10. Just an absolutely incredible rush card. And it also helps, it's one of those cards that's going to be really nice on curve. We're like, okay, maybe now you go, okay, Zoro on turn 2, swing 5. Luffy on turn 3, swing 6 or 7 or however you need to move the Dawn around, and just incredible. Absolutely love this card. Really big fan. I'm gonna give it a 7. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, maybe even an 8.5 out of 10. Okay, so we were just talking. This is not the Zoro I was talking about, by the way. I was talking about the 3 cost 5k Zoro. So here's another Zoro. I think I've seen this, but I don't know if I fully read the effect. It is a 4 cost 5,000 power 1k counter. Okay, real quick. Look how awesome the alt art looks for this one, guys. The SR looks good enough as is, but look at that alt art. Awesome. Looks so good. It is a 4 cost, 5,000 power, 1k counter character. It's a Straw Hat Crew type. 4 cost 5k with a 1k counter. Okay, Dawn times 2, this character gains Rush. Works out perfectly with the leader effect. And then, okay, this also has an on KO to play up to 1 red character card with 6,000 power or less other than Zoro from your hand. Okay, so it can't be Zoro. Okay, so they knew what we were trying to do there, right? Trying to get down another Rush Zoro. Well, I guess you wouldn't want to play that out, right? Because it already has Rush. Play up to. It does have to be 1 red character. Oh man, what were they thinking? Unacceptable, guys. Unacceptable. No, I'm just kidding. That's not too bad. But you're going to be able to play up to 1 red character card with 6,000 power or less, other than Zoro, from your hand. I wish the color restriction was not on there, but I understand. I get it. It's for balance purposes. All right, take all our fun away, man. I'm telling you. Bandai's just trying to take all our fun away, or Cardass, or whatever the name of the developer is. But no, this is a very well-made card. Looks really good. 4 cost 5k with a 1k counter. Your leader effect, if you have a way to get a Dawn on your leader, you're attaching 2 Dawn to this guy for free, and now he's a 7k rusher. It's like a 4 cost 7k rush card, and then if he gets KO'd, oh, what do you know? You're going to be able to cheat out another character. And we'll have to see what kind of red 6,000 power or less characters we can have other than Zoro that we can cheat out from our hand to get extra value. And they do not come into play rested either. They're active, so they are going to be a little bit protected. Really good stuff. I'm going to give this card like an 8.5 out of 10 as well. I think Zoro and the Luffy we were just looking at, this one right here, I think they're both around the same ballpark of power level. I'm gonna give them both somewhere around an 8 or an 8.5 out of 10. Really, really good cards. Man. Awesome art on this. I don't know what's going on in the background, but it looks so good. Okay, now we're at the events. We're almost done, guys. We have Gum Gum Dawn Whip. Gum Gum Dawn Whip. So this is a... Can y'all see? I have the little square over there. Yeah, hopefully y'all can see that, guys. I might have to adjust this this little layout that I made, but oh well, that's for later. So it is Gum Gum Dawn Whip is a 2 cost... 4 Emperor Straw Hat Crew type event. The effect is main up to one of your leader or character cards gains plus 1,000 power during this turn. Okay, that is an entire turn effect, guys. That is plus 1,000 for the turn, but this is an activate main. This is not a counter. Like when I first read that, I'm thinking, okay, is this like White Snake or whatever it's called, or I think that was called White something, or I think we gotta look that up now. Now I think it's called White Snake. We got to check real quick. White. It is called... We're going to find it. Hang on, guys. Y'all bear with me. We'll find it eventually here. Yeah, White Snake. That's what it's called. It's like the Nami event that a lot of people run. But that's a counter. This is an activate main. So this Gum Gum Dawn Whip is an activate main. That is... It's a... Okay, I need to finish the effect. Up to one of your leader or character cards gains plus 1,000 power during this turn. Then up to one of your opponent's characters, one of your opponent's characters with 4,000 power or less cannot activate blocker during this turn. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. I was so confused what they were trying to go for here. Okay, so you're trying to make one of your characters unblockable, but it can only work on 4,000 power or less blockers. Up to one of your opponent's characters with 4,000 power or less cannot activate blocker during this turn. So the way that's worded, do you have to target a character? Saying like, okay, and then this character cannot block because they have 4,000 power or less. So you're going to go 2 Dawn and buff your character and then make them unblockable against one of the blockers. And then trigger KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 4,000 power or less. That's a little low. That trigger's a little low. I think it should have been a 5,000 power base or less. Or something like, or 5,000 base power or less or something along those. Maybe not base for the trigger because that's a little bit strong that you can't really play around it. But like maybe make it a 5,000 power or less character. I think that would have been a little more balanced. And I don't know why this couldn't, like this should put everything into perspective. Like imagine thinking this card is strong, right? When we already have Perfume Femur. Perfume Femur says, okay, I'm going to give my character plus 2,000 power for the turn, or my leader. I'm going to give them plus 2,000 power for the turn, and then they're just unblockable. Not like, oh, well, if they have a blocker, but like, I don't understand that. I do have to kind of push back against this card, and I think this is an underpowered card, especially considering what we've already seen. Like I said, Perfume Femur is a 2-cost blue event that gives one of your 7 Warlords of the Sea character or leaders unblockable and plus 2,000 power. So I don't understand why this is worded like this, especially being in red, which red I think should be the unblockable pool. I mean, I guess, okay, well, you don't have to target a specific type with this one. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not buying it. I think this, if they were going to print a card like this, I think it should have been worded up to one of your leader or character cards gains plus 2,000 power during this turn and is unblockable if they're going to do that. Because otherwise, why do you have Perfume Femur? Is it really that crazy of a restriction that it's 7 Warlords only? Maybe. You guys tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. Number one, let me say this. I don't even think Perfume Femur should have existed in blue, much less in the 7 Warlords type. Like, maybe that would have made sense if they had made it a blue, or actually made it Revo Army locked or something like that, right? I understand it has something to do more with the character Boa, because Perfume Femur, that's one of her things. Okay, I get that, and she's 7 Warlords, but still, I just don't understand, like, from a game balance standpoint, I don't quite understand that card versus this one. Because this is not just unblockable. So if your opponent has a 5,000 or 6,000 power blocker on the board, well, then they're not unblockable, period. Right? So, okay, I'll say this. Since it has no restriction, I would have been okay with this card. Number one, if they buffed the trigger to 5,000 power. Not base, but 5,000 power or less. So people could still at least try to play around it. But I think that main should say up to one of your leader or character cards gains plus 1,000 power during this turn. And then it cannot be, and then it's unblockable for the turn, like word it the way it needs to be worded. But I think that's how it should have been, where it's like, okay, if it's only going to give plus 1,000 power, then make it unblockable completely, even if it's not locked to a type. I don't care, you know, just balance it in that way. But as is, I'm going to give this, like, I mean, it could still get around like a little chump blocker, so I'll give it a 5 out of 10. But we'll have to see how this pans out. I don't like giving cards under 5 out of 10s, guys. It's very rare that I do that, but I feel like giving this one a 4 out of 10. You guys tell me what y'all think. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe people are considering running this in a deck where you can do power reduction. You know, maybe like the new red-blue Caesar Clown deck coming out in OP10. Maybe. But as is, on paper, compared to what we've already seen, this is like drastically worse. Because again, it's not unblockable. It's only unblockable for one character with a 4,000 power or less that has blocker. And then it only gives plus 1,000 as opposed to plus 2,000 like Perfume Femur does. I even like Perfume Femur's trigger better than this one, which is just draw a card. Popping a 4,000 power or less character, I guess, again, maybe it's just meant to deal with the small blockers. I got to drop it. I'm going to end this rant right here. I'm not trying to get too crazy about it. You guys tell me what y'all think. I'm going to give this card a 4.5. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I'm just going to give it a 5 out of 10 and just be neutral about it. I'm just going to be totally neutral about it, as neutral as I can be. Okay, next up we have Gum Gum Mole Pistol. This is a 4-cost event, 4 Emperor Straw Hat Crew type. The effect is give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 5,000 power. Wow. During this turn. So main, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 5,000 power for this turn. Then if you have a character with 6,000 power or more, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 2,000 power or less. Trigger, activate the card's main effect. The trigger is actually very good. It could probably win you the game. Even if it doesn't KO something, it'll at least drop the power down of a very big target, or maybe you can survive an attack now. It does cost 4 to basically KO a 7,000 power character if you have a 6,000 power character on the board already. I guess it's better than nothing, right? It's definitely not a bad card. I'm just going to give this like a 6 out of 10. It is removal. The trigger's actually very... I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10 for the trigger, actually, because the trigger's actually very decent, that it can like completely shut down an attack. It cannot hit a leader, unfortunately, for the trigger, but hey, that's okay. Like for the main, I understand why it can't. But the trigger, it's too bad the trigger doesn't say activate this card's main effect, but it may also target leaders. You know, if they had added like a little extra clause at the end, that would have been really cool. But yeah, really good stuff here. Big fan of the removal stuff like this in red. It's just a little costly in my opinion, but I guess you will be able to combo this with even more power reduction to pop even larger targets. So really good stuff here. We'll take it. I'm just going to give it like I'll give it a 6 out of 10 or 6.5 out of 10. It's hard to say. Okay, and that's it, guys. That's it for the review. You guys tell me what y'all think about ST21. Are you guys excited to see this? I'll tell you one thing, guys. We'll blast through it real quick. There are some cards in here I'm very excited to see. Usopp was okay, just a decent early on card to drop. Very good to get tempo. Sanji, incredible 2K counter. And by the way, Usopp's a 2K counter as well. But Sanji, incredible 2K counter. Very high utility for any kind of Straw Hat deck. Jory Bonney, again, like the early game stuff is the name of the game. Because notice this, guys. Okay, 2 cost, 3. I think the biggest card in this entire deck is literally 6 or 4. It's 5. It's 5. This is the biggest card in the entire deck, guys. It's a 5-cost card. That is wild. Really good stuff, though. All right, so now let's finish. So Usopp looks good. Sanji looks good. Bonney, just excellent for like being a 1-drop. I think this is actually a really good 1-drop for the deck. Could potentially replace itself. Jinbei's just vanilla. Stussy vanilla. Sentomaru just like a vanilla blocker these days for the most part. Tony Chopper vanilla. And then the Nami, I think, has great utility. I think this is probably going to find its way into a lot of red decks that are running Straw Hat Crew. I think it's actually going to be pretty decent. Nico Robin, not sure about this. Maybe in the PRB01 Sanji deck like we talked about. But other than that, I'm not really sure. One thing I will say, though, is this entire deck of ST21 seems like it's going to be very complementary to PRB01 Sanji. Big fan of that. Very well designed. Franky, I'm not super impressed by, but still is okay. Same thing with Brook. Like, it has potential, but not really impressed. Vegapunk is a vanilla. And then the star of the show here is the Monkey D. Luffy, the 5-cost Luffy, and the 4-cost Zoro. I think these cards are outstanding. Cannot wait to play this in my Red Yellow Sabo list, but it can go in any red deck, of course. And then same thing with Zoro, this card. Now, this one's probably not going to go in my Red Yellow Sabo deck. Maybe, who knows? Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but I don't think it will. It seems good, but it's also not really what I'm trying to do with the deck. And it doesn't have, like, if this character has 7,000 power or more, it gets Rush. It has Dawn ×2, this character gains Rush. If it was worded slightly differently, if it was worded in a way that said this character gains, if this character has 7,000 power or more, it gains Rush, then it would be a little bit different, but it's not. Oh well. The on KO is pretty decent as well, but you'll have to have like a full red deck to get full value from that. Very unimpressed with the Gum Gum Dawn Whip. I'm not saying it's a bad card, but I think it's just, I don't think, after seeing all the cards we just looked at before, like even this Luffy and all the other, like the new Franky and the new Nico Robin, where it seems like they're power creeping cards a little bit to catch up, it seems like this card was toned backwards. It was toned down. I feel like red should be the color that has unblockable, like with Diable Jambe. That's been one of its main themes, because I feel like red should have always struggled with removal, but had the rush characters that kind of double over as removal and as tempo and as extra threats, but and have unblockable to help close out games since there's limited removal. But giving blue even better removal, well, first of all, yeah, better removal, but I was going to say better unblockable than red. I don't know, guys. It seems a little bit strange to me. Well, you guys tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. And then this Gum Gum Mole Pistol was kind of decent. Okay, just nice little removal. We'll take it. All right, guys, that's it. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. Let me leave it on this alt art here. And then we've got one game to go over on the sim, and then we'll wrap this up. So I can't wait to hear what y'all have to say about this set in the comment section below. Okay, give me just a moment to get set up, guys, so we can do this. Okay, where is... There we go. Let me go full screen. Now I can take out the spoiler and the black screen, and here we go. We've got a game of red, yellow Sabo versus green, blue Zonji. This almost felt like friendly fire, like a team kill or something, because of course, you know, for those who have been following this channel for long enough, you know I absolutely love me some green, blue Zonji. Absolutely love me some green, blue Zonji. I got to update that list soon. But guys, I will say this. Let me pause real quick because we're doing top 5 searches here. Notice this list. We're running the 5-cost yellow Sabo that can pop a 5-cost or less by trashing the top card of your life. Yep, we got some stuff going on here. But real quick, guys, I have to say we've got a lot of, how do I say this? We've got a lot of videos coming up that are going to be a little more meta-based, okay? Because I want to go over all of the new leaders that people are playing right now in OP09 in the West. I've got a purple Luffy video basically done, like all the stuff for it. Now I just have to record it. Same thing with Blackbeard. So we're going to be doing a deep dive, comprehensive guide on how to play those leaders. First is going to be Luffy. Second is going to be Blackbeard. Then it will probably be Shanks into Blue Dofi into... We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But that's it. Might be Nami. I think the 5th one might be Nami. We'll see what happens. But anyway, we got a lot of games on the horizon here, or a lot of like meta videos on the horizon. Okay, so real quick, I've gone first as Red Yellow Sabo. This is a Goa Kingdom version of Sabo. I play out Garp. I do a top 5 search. I grab a 5. I think I grabbed a 5-cost Sanji. Let's just make sure. Let me hit play, and here we go. So I play out the Garp here. Yep, we're going to grab the 5-cost Sabo. Worst case scenario, it's a 1k counter, and I already have the other 5-cost cards in my hand. So here we go. They're going to play out a Sengoku. And removal is actually very important against Zoro and Sanji, against green-blue Zonji, because they are going to attack a lot of times at once with a character. So we're going to swing for 5 here with the Garp. They're going to just run Sengoku into it next turn more than likely. We don't care. Swing 5. They give me a 2k. They took the first hit. Okay, well, seems good. Now, the first thing I would do right here is just swing 2 into 2 with Sengoku, because you know I'm going to let the card go. I'm not saving that card. They play out a Gecko, so that, you know, that could potentially affect my my play here. So swing for 5. We'll take that. They just don't swing into Garp at all. Very strange. We're going to swing in for 5 here. They give me another 2k counter. We're going to play out the Sabo, pop that guy. We lose the top card of our life. However, Red Yellow Sabo can gain life very easily. And now that we're at 2 or less life, my 5-cost Ace is turned on. His effect is activated. Okay, so we have a lot of 2k counters in our hand as well. So let's see what happens here. They're going to play out the Edward Weevil. Let's see what they choose to do here. They're probably just going to swing in for 6, maybe swing in for 7. Okay, they're going to swing in for 6. Very interesting. Let's see if they choose to pull anything back here. Very confused what's going on. Maybe this might be their first time playing like a green-blue Zonji deck. Okay, we 2K counter out because I don't want to dip too low. But guys, it is time to bring the heat. It is time to go face. Swing for 7. And then it's going to be swing for 8, swing for 7. I think it's going to be 7-8-7 or 7-7-8. We'll push this card back. Yeah, I think I should attack with my Sabo first though. I know a lot of people might be thinking like, well, why would you do that? Because just in case they have a Gravity Blade Raging Tiger, it's just safer. It's just safer to do it like that. I don't know how else to explain it. Or like a Punk Gibson, you just never know. This is a green-blue deck. Look, they have a whoever wins this war becomes justice in their trash. So you just never know what someone's going to be running on the sim, guys. You never know. Okay, so we do have Ace in life now. We have 3 life, which makes things a lot safer for me. But I have 4 cards in my hand that are 2K. I have 4 2Ks in hand. I can get out of just about anything. I'm feeling very safe right now. Now, they can bounce their Sengoku back to their hand, I guess. I guess that's an option. But they're going to play out a Mihawk. They're going to play out another Mihawk. They played out the 3-cost 4K, and then they played out the 4-cost 5K. And, yeah, they're going to swing 6 into 8. I guess they did not realize how that works. But at the same time, maybe they were trying to deprive me from my ace. And that way, yeah, you know, I don't think that's the worst play in the world. Let me say that. I do not think that's the worst play in the world. So we get a Luffy, it looks like. I think we got a 2-cost Luffy from the search there. We're going to play out the Luffy, and we are just going to swing in for 7. And then we are going to life this card, and we are going to swing for 9. Okay, and they miscountered there, or well, actually, maybe they couldn't have gotten out of. Well, no, they could have gotten out of 8, right? Because oh no, I bet they got the 2K counter from their life. Man, okay, it happens. It does happen. So I think they got a little too aggressive at the end there. So this was their mindset. They're not ever going to get to drop those big characters. It's not going to happen. The deck we're running, the Goa Kingdom version, is explosive, guys. It's way too aggressive for people to be dropping like 8, 9, 10 cost characters. Hody Jones is a little bit different, but you're also hitting your own life with it, so you want to save it for lethal against a deck that's aggressive like Red Yellow Sabo. But right here, they got a little too aggressive, dropping down the 3 and 4 cost Mihawk. They were trying to win on the next turn. That was their logic, was like, okay, I'm actually not going to win this game under any circumstance at the current rate, so I need to fill out the board. But I guess they didn't quite realize how low they were, because there was no way to get through, right? There was just simply no way for them to, or not to get through, to survive. There was no way for them to survive this turn. So good stuff. That was a fun one. Red Yellow Sabo, the Goa Kingdom version, is an absolute beast. And that new 5-cost 6K, not Zoro, Luffy, it might make the Goa Kingdom version pretty good again. Make the Goa Kingdom version good again, right? Awesome. Okay, we're done. All right, that was fun. Oh, let me show you guys the deck list real quick before I forget. I almost totally forgot about that. So here's the deck list, guys. I think this is it. I may have made some revisions. Let me say that right now. There are some revisions here and there. I'm sure, like maybe up. You know, I might have had 4 of these to start and down one of these, or up, or down one of these. I mean, the 2 costs. I'm not 100% sure, and I might have added these Onamis later. I just simply don't know. I don't remember, because I do always make little revisions here and there. But let me tell you right now, guys, this list pumps. It absolutely pumps. And if I were to remove anything from this list, like just looking at it now, I don't think we need this 5-cost Luffy. I do like this 5-cost Sabo, excuse me. We do need that, but we probably could go down 4 of these Luffys, 4 of these Onamis. Oh, I see what I was doing. I was trying to add trigger removal so I could keep the tempo up. That's why they're there. Again, I don't think we need that, and that's just a that's more of like a luck-based thing than anything. But with the Makinos, you can set them, and with the Hiyoris, you can set them as well, right? You know, Makino can set them if you already have them in your life, but Hiyori can set them, you know, in the place of like drawing a card from your life and putting an Onami there or a Luffy to pop the smaller stuff. So again, I don't think it's ideal. I don't think it's great or anything, but that was the logic behind it, at least, so you know. I'll run through the list real quick. So it's running 3 of the Rush Luffy that goes unblockable, 3 of the ST21 Ace that's hard to KO, 4 Flampe, 4 Onami, 4 Hiyori, 4 of the Rocket Boots Luffy, 4 of the Sabo, the 5-cost Sabo that can pop characters, 4 Ace, 4 of the 2-cost Ace, 4 of the 5-cost Rush Ace, 4 Makino, 4 Garp, 4 Luffy, the 2 cost Luffy, and 4 of the 3 Brothers Bond. This is just like a full-on 3 Brothers Bond deck with complementary 2K counters in the form of like Flampe and Hiyori. And then it has Onami too in there, like I said. So that's pretty much it. It's just a fun, trollish kind of deck. But hey, it is fun. It was fun to play. All right, we're done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me go ahead and put up the Patreon page or the playmat page. Big shout out to everybody who supports the channel, guys. Whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, whatever you're doing, I really, really appreciate it, guys. And yeah, big shout out to everybody who bought the playmat. I hope you guys are enjoying those playmats. And then last but not least, we have the patrons page here, guys. Big shout out to everybody on here for helping out the channel, trying to keep the dream alive, trying to keep things afloat here. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, we're done, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put them in the comment section below. And yeah, until next time, guys. All right, peace.